You guys asked for it, so here it is. The Proform Sport RL rower from COSTCO. Looks like we got lucky. It's the very last one. In the next few minutes, I'm going to unbox the Proform rower, show you how to build it, give you my first impressions of it, and I'll show you the screen, the metrics, the iFit classes, and the automatic adjusting resistance and how it all works. So yep, it changed the resistance for me automatically. Also, I put chapter timestamps below the video to help you navigate in case you don't need to watch from beginning to end, so please give me a thumbs up if you find this video helpful and leave a comment if you have any questions. Can't believe you guys talked me into this. These things are packaged up quite a bit differently than an indoor cycling bike is, so we'll see how it goes here. Here's a first look at what it looks like when you get out of the box. Here's a first look at everything you get inside the box. So we get the seat, hardware to build it, iFit, console, a few other parts here, and the main rower. Here's a first look at the screen. Here's what the seat looks like. And it looks like the hardware kit here is actually pretty minimal. So just, a few bolts and screws. Looks like it's not gonna be too hard to build. So here is the 1-year iFit coach membership that comes in the box. And inside the instruction manual here, it says the length is 7 feet 3 inches long and 1 foot wide. It weighs 121 pounds and the maximum user weight is 250 pounds. One thing that is different about building this rower than building my indoor cycling bikes is this actually does not include the screwdriver and wrench to build it. So you do need to bring your own adjustable wrench and screwdriver. So it says use 2 people for this, but I am the only one here. I'm gonna try by myself. If you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up, and any questions or comments you have, please leave down in the comment section below. So on my Proform rower here on the bottom, I just cannot get this bolt to line up with the threading. And I don't want to strip it. So when I first bought this rower, looking at the dimensions of it, obviously it's like really long, but it did talk about that like folding technology. And honestly, like I think this rower like folded up like that is smaller. It takes up like a smaller footprint than all these bikes I have, like I'd say the bikes take up more space sitting on the floor at first glance. So, I think it'll fit in here. So the next step here is you just take the seat and slide it right on there. The next step is to attach the rear stop using 2 of the M4 screws located right up there. Then you put the rail cap on the back and put the 2 screws in the holes, which are these 19mm screws. The next step of building this rower is to take this part and plug it into the console, and it says to be very careful not to plug this in the wrong way because you can damage it. I did see somebody left a comment on my previous video saying that their console did not work after they got done building it, so possibly they could have damaged these pins while they were building it. This is probably really hard to see on video, but you can actually see if you look really closely, there is a small cutout indentation on the bottom there, and also on this piece there is a little piece kind of sticking out a little bit, so that'll tell you, you'll be able to tell which way it plugs in. So just be careful not to bend a pin while plugging this in. And just like the instructions said, I heard a little click and it went in nice and easy. And I found as I put this part on, if I just kind of pulled these wires at the same time I was setting this down to get that excess cord out of the way, that worked out just fine. And then you just put those 4 screws in there and it's all hooked up. So the next step here is to just take this piece and connect up these wires and put the bolts on here, which is a little difficult probably to do with one person, but I'm gonna try and do it. This connection's a little bit more obvious. Just put the extra wires down here, put your bolts in. So you just start with a little finger tightening, and then you can use a wrench to start snugging them up. Just make sure you don't cross thread them. And one of the last steps calls for you to take this out so you can put on the final pieces. And then after you get that piece on there, this is what it looks like, and you just put in a screw there on that side, same thing on the other side. Here is the Proform Sport RL rower completely built. And before we get on and do our first test row here, I kind of just want to do a walk around here and talk about some of my first observations I made while building this thing. So for one, it is pretty long. You know, I was really concerned about the amount of space that this thing takes up, but it does fold up, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. I think that you should be very careful folding this thing up. I already actually like smashed my finger on the seat once, so I'll show you that in just a moment. But so for comparison, since I just happen to have two indoor cycling bikes back to back here, it's about the length of the Proform Tour de France and also the Schwinn IC4s back to back. So I think it's like 7 feet long, roughly, but it does fold up, and let me show you how that works. So first of all, I have to admit I was really impressed with like how this thing does fold up, and it makes its footprint much smaller, but also you have to be very careful about the pinch points on these things. So like this seat will like go back and forth. You do not want to grab right here and lift this thing up, because like I got my finger ran over by this thing accidentally already. I'll show you how you're supposed to do it in just a moment. Also, in between here, this is where it bends at. Do not get your finger stuck between there, because that would be really, really bad. But here, let me just show you how it works. So there are handles. There's this handle right here, and there's this handle right here. So don't ever grab it from like here, and keep your fingers away from the pinch point. So what you do is it says you make sure the seat is all the way back, which my floor isn't flat, so it's going forward. But anyway, seat all the way back, and then you lift up from like here, and it just kind of folds up. And then, whoop, there we go. Kind of just goes right up like that. So really, like after this thing is in its compact form, it takes up about as much space as an indoor cycling bike, or actually probably a little bit less. So in the folded up position, I'd say it's about as wide as an indoor cycling bike, you know, roughly the same width. It's definitely shorter, you know, like this way. And then the height, I mean, there's the Proform right back there behind it. So, I mean, it's, you know, on about, you know, the same height level, maybe a little bit shorter though. So getting this thing back down into rowing position is where I messed up. And I grabbed it by this part right here, and the seat is down. And when you lift this part up, you know, you don't want to like lift this thing up, because like that seat will come like crashing down, you know, from gravity. And then obviously right here, this is a huge pinch point. So, you know, definitely keep your kids' fingers away from this. I mean, I could see this being a serious hazard, honestly, if you don't treat it with respect. But like, I really do like that this thing just folds up real nicely and very compact. Also, I mean, I haven't even really had a chance to mess with it too much, but like this screen is like raised up, so this could even be folded down and more compact than that. So I just learned that you can move this thing around pretty easily. All you have to do is continue to move this thing forward, and it'll click onto there. So you just kind of give it a little push onto there, and it clicks on. And then you can put your hand up on here. So you just put your foot right there and your hand on this handle, tip it up onto the wheels, and it kind of just balances itself, and you can just roll it around like a vacuum cleaner. So then when you're ready to take it out of the storage position, you just got to kind of break that free there. I just give it a little kick down here, like hold on to the handle, and just kind of do not grab here, because this is what happened to me before and I hurt my finger. I just grabbed this and then the seat rolled on me. So you got to use this handle, use these handles down here and this handle right here, and you just kind of put your foot down here, and then just kind of move the whole thing like this. Oh, and see, like right here, like keep your hands on the handle, because like this pinch point right here, oh man, that could be terrible. And I have to admit, I'm actually pretty excited to get on this thing. It looks like this thing also has an automatic adjusting resistance on it, even though I didn't even see that advertised on the box at all anywhere. But first I have to activate it. Apparently you have to like log in and activate this thing before you can use it. So I'm gonna do that now. So unlike the Proform Tour de France CBC bike, this one you plug in. So it has a little plug in there on the front. Oh yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's just a blue screen that says hello. So maybe I do have to activate it first. You just go to ifit.com/activate. It'll basically just tell you to download this app. So after you have the app, you just log in and then you go through and put in your birthday, your height, your gender, and make a profile. And then finally you get to pair equipment. So it found the rower. The bike is off, so it's not trying to connect to that. Success. All right, now it shows up on the screen here. Watts, time, calories. So up here on the dash, there are 3 different rows of information. The first one shows your SPM, which is strokes per minute. So it does have cadence on here, but it's a little bit different metrics than you get on a indoor cycling bike. And then you can kind of, you see down there in the second one, it said strokes there. So it counts the strokes as you use the machine. And then you can like tap the button here and it'll show you your watts up there too. So that's kind of neat. And I put in, you know, my age, my weight, and all that information. And, you know, maybe it gives you some output based on, you know, like calories is based on that profile stuff possibly. And then you can also use the auxiliary in, so you could hook up like your phone, and there's a pair of speakers on here, so you could like play music through these speakers if you want. Oh, so let's check out the resistance. So there's, there we go. I'm an idiot. So apparently these, I thought this was like divided into 4 categories there or something, 4, like, you know what I mean? But it's a minus and a plus, so this is, duh, resistance. So I'm on resistance 0. If I tap resistance, it'll bring me to 2, 3, 4. Let's see how high it goes. I'm guessing 16. Oh, no, it goes beyond 16. 20, 24, okay. So the max resistance is 24. Okay, so interesting. So some first observations here I would like to point out. So this rowing machine is $399. The Proform indoor cycling bike from COSTCO is $385. The screen difference is enormous, really. So this one has like this like blue backlit display. My camera really just doesn't show it very well in this light. But the screen on this is much prettier than what you get on the Proform indoor cycling bike. Like, I don't know, maybe you've seen these videos of mine and maybe not, but this one will power up and you get like this really basic looking screen. You know, this one's not like extremely fancy by any means, I guess, but this definitely does seem like a lot nicer actually, considering they're basically like the same price point. So now what I want to do is just kind of get on here and feel this thing out a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to do with the camera because I kind of need 2 hands to use the rower. Oh, and if you didn't know, it does have like a tablet holder right here, so you can put a tablet on here. I might try to play an iFit class through my phone because I don't have my iPad right now. So I'm going to hop on this thing and just kind of give it like a little test row here. The dog does not like this at all. I am not a rower. I've never really been into rowing. I've used a rower before in gyms before, and I've done like weighted rows. So don't follow my form on this. I was trying to read the instructions a little bit and try, I watched a couple of videos on like how to row the other night, but do not take my form, don't take example by my form. I just want to kind of give my first impression. So I have it on resistance. Resistance 1 is the minimum. So they say drive with the legs first, and then pull with the arms last, basically. I changed it to resistance 4. I'm going to bump it up to 7. I'm going to bump it up to a lot more, 14. I want to see how hard it gets. So I'm just going to put it on the maximum of 24. And I'm getting a phone call.
What are you doing?
Rowing my boat. Okay, so I had to take care of a few things, but coming back, I noticed the screen actually turned off on its own. So one thing about this Proform bike over here is the screen doesn't always turn off. And you know, I just kind of turn those pedals to click that thing on real quick. Still on. Proform rower turned off on its own. So that's a good sign. Okay, so I loaded up the iFit app and it's just kind of in like a free mode right now. And on the app, it shows strokes per minute and distance and a few other things here. Let me see. Oh, it's got the power output here as well as the power output up on the screen. You can switch it to, oh, distance, and then resistance is the second one. Average resistance, max resistance, time elapsed, time remaining is irrelevant. Calories burned, strokes per minute, total strokes. So, okay, so let me just kind of row my boat here a little bit and see what it gives me here on the screen. Okay, so it starts putting out the watts right up there on the screen right away, so that's pretty cool. And then also the strokes per minute. So I don't know how quickly it's updating here because I'm not doing anything. Oh, there, now it's to 0. Row, row, row your boat. Watts 150. Okay, so it's giving me some feedback. Whoa. Alright, so let me give it a little test row. So it's giving me like a watts output up there. It's kind of like ranging between like, right at about like 300 watts is what it's at right now. 246, 277. The resistance is on 2. And strokes per minute, right around like 24. So yeah, the buttons are kind of conveniently located here where you can just kind of use a finger and bump it on the way down if you want to change it. So that's nice. And you get the audio feedback. It gives you a little beep. Let me bump the resistance up to the maximum and just see like how that feels different. Okay, so it shows on the screen and everything. Put the resistance down to 1 now. Oh yeah. This is really, really easy now. So I wonder how that works. Putting the resistance on to 12, 13. Okay. Interesting. Check out this impressive feature over here on my phone. I can tap the resistance and it changes it over on the actual Proform rower. So A little bit of a delay, but not much. Pretty nifty. So now I want to go into a iFit class and see if they have the automatic adjusting resistance in the iFit class. So I just pressed the finish workout there, and it saves your stats and stuff in the iFit app, so that's kind of nice. Like, it shows how long the class was I did, my average strokes per minute, estimated calories burned, estimated distance in meters, effort score, and average watts. So kind of nifty, really. So what I'm doing now is just kind of looking at the app and what classes they have to offer. So I was in the manual workout there. I accidentally just clicked on it by accident, actually, and I just started just rolling with it. So it looks like they have like outdoor rows, and then so yeah, another outdoor row, and then studio rows. So I want to try this burn and shred series workout and check out like the automatic adjusting resistance feature in there. So let's check it out, see how it goes. Start workout, please. Oh, don't drop phone. I accept my risks. Workout begins, and skip warm up, please.
Well, first you gotta get started with the 3-minute warm up, which starts right now. First, make sure you're pushing those feet firmly into the platform.
So that's nice. He tells you, probably gives you instructions on how to row, which honestly, I'm new to this, so that'll be helpful.
And as you drive back from that platform, extend those legs first.
Well, that's actually really helpful to somebody like me who's never rowed before and just wants to try it out. So I'll show you the automatic adjusting resistance if it does it. So yep, it changed the resistance for me automatically in this class. Where is it there? So the instructor here is telling me to basically focus on my strokes per minute, and it just automatically adjusted my resistance, and that's pretty neat. And I need to adjust these feet straps, I think, but so they do adjust. So the feet positions do adjust. I'm gonna move it down one more because I have a size 14 shoe. This thing is called an oar. I didn't even know that. If you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up, and any questions or comments you have, leave down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So this is really just kind of my first impressions, unboxing and building video of the Proform Sport RL rower. I'm gonna have another video for this product coming out very soon as I get a chance to kind of dive into the rower a little bit more and explore its features. Overall though, I mean, it seems like a pretty good value, honestly. You know, like the screen seems pretty nice. The silent motor deal up there seems like really silent. This does make a little bit of noise. So I mean, it's not like extremely silent. There is kind of like a little bit of a noise to it, but not like an obnoxious noise. But yeah, up there, that part is like really quiet. Anyway though, I'll have another video coming on this Pro Sport RL rower coming soon, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content on this and any other indoor cycling bikes, because I have a lot more of those videos coming out soon. So anyway guys, Matt here at Tail Hypey TV. Thanks for watching, and click like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.